Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the 93rd edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And Jamie, I do believe that somewhere in the vicinity of this space that we're recording in, somewhere in the ether, are the Chronicles of Dustin Murphy?
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely wonderful. Big shout out Tom Brompton for setting this one up. Hit it!
Hi there! You're about to enjoy the Chronicles of Tom and Jamie.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Mann.
Hi guys, my name's Annabelle Knight and hello, this is Becky Baldwin.
Hello, I'm Chesney.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Braden from Say We Can Fly.
Hi, this is Dustin Curtis Murphy. I am a writer, director, and indie film producer of the film Coyote, and you're listening to the Chronicles of Podcast with Tom and Jamie.
The missions don't seem too impossible anymore.
So if you don't mind, can you go and ask your mum for the time instead?
Like, oh, I've got a Dalmatian. Oh, I've got a Labrador. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 93rd edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And these are the Chronicles of Dustin Curtis Murphy. It is I, the bearded brummy Jamie, and joining me, as always, is this handsome fella right here.
That's an extra special as always this week. Was that Leanne Rimes?
It was Leanne Rimes.
Oh, was it in something in the moonlight? Dance in the
the moonlight.
Can't find the moonlight. Yeah, I was getting a mix up with Top Loader then. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? Dancing in the moonlight. I don't know.
From the movie Coyote Ugly, because this week's guest has a movie film coming out called Coyote. So there we go.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. It's the Scotsman, Tom. How are we doing, guys? I hope you're well and loving life and whatnot. Do you ever, I don't know if you do, Jamie, but I don't know if any of you out there, specifically of the male variety, like when you wear shorts to shove them up your ass like a sumo wrestler, especially during the hot weather, because it's just wonderful. Like right now, I'm literally sat cheek on the wood right now on this bench, because it's absolutely wonderful. But I know what's going to happen, right? I'm going to forget that I've done it because I'm comfortable and I've sat there, and when I stand up, it's going to rip. Said because my skin would have compressed against the wood, and then it'll make a Velcro type motion, type effect, and that could give me a very sore ass. But we'll see. We'll see.
I hope all of our listeners and viewers really enjoy that mental image. By the way,
absolutely. And of course, while you're listening to this recording, this interview, or this show, we are currently smashing it out at the old 2000 Trees Festival. So if you are at 2000 Trees and you're hearing it, I don't know why this is a podcast at Trees, but still, if you do at any point in time and fancy it, we're there. Come and say hello. Come and see us. Come and find us. We'll be around. We'll be donning the clothing, and there'll be backdrops and everything else. We'll have everything with us. So please do come say hello if you're at the 2000 Trees Festival. It'd be absolutely amazing to see you. And if we didn't see you, gutted. We should have caught up, and hopefully we will do soon. So yes, the Chronicles of Dustin Murphy, Jamie. So some absolute genius. Did you ever play Tetris?
Yes. Some
absolute fucking hero has got the original manual.
Really?
Someone out there on the internet found the original booklet that came with the original Nintendo system version of Tetris. And hold on to your hats, people. The blocks have names. Oh. That's right. I said the blocks in Tetris have names. And it is apparently essential to completing the game properly if you know what they're called for some weird reason.
Is it? Okay.
So this is what the manual says. There are 7 total Tetris blocks, and knowing which is which at a glance is essential to mastering the game. Are you ready?
Bring it.
Okay. The block that goes right and up is called Orange Ricky. Okay.
Okay.
The block that goes left and up is called Blue Ricky. Okay. So they're the L's that are on their sides, but their pointy bit goes on either side. Okay.
Yeah.
The Z one is called Cleveland Z. The backward Z one, like the S, It's called the Rhode Island Z.
Okay.
No idea why. This one's great. The long bar is called Hero. The bar with the middle finger in the middle, the little block, so it's like an upside down T, is called Tiwi.
Oh, that's adorable. I like that one.
And then finally, the square is called Smash Boy.
That is the best. Smash Boy.
What great names. I wonder who came up with those. I've been quite intrigued as to, it must be the inventors of Tetris obviously just went, what should we call it? I don't fucking know, man. It's called Cleveland Z. I don't give a shit. Why Cleveland Z? I don't give a fuck. I'm looking at Cleveland right now on the map. And the other one, or the other way around, fuck it, let's see. Rhode Island will do.
I just like the fact that the manual says they are essential to completing the game. Why do you need that information?
I don't know. Essentially, looking at that at a glance. So I suppose knowing what they're called maybe helps, because then you see them and you see the block, you know exactly where to put it without thinking about it. You know, some people just go, shit, and then put it in the wrong place. Like, bastard! Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is that you, is it?
That's me. I'm dreadful at Tetris. I've played it, but I'm not good at it.
I just love the music more than anything else. Like, the music's fantastic. So simple, but so fantastic at the same time. I'm amazed it's not in a song, unless it's been copyrighted and they can't put it in songs. I'm surprised like drum and bass or house or techno has not thumped it in somewhere and gone, that'd be amazing.
I was going to say, it's got to be sampled somewhere. Like, I remember the Bloodhound Gang sampled the Pac-Man theme song, so I know that's someone.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did. It's in Mope. I love that track. And saying Pac-Man was high on cocaine or something. That is a great track. So, I was having a really stupid thought when watching, I think it was Simpsons or something. Americans. So, you know, in Britain, how you have county lines.
Yes.
So it's like, you are entering Wiltshire, you are entering Derbyshire, you are entering Yorkshire, that sort of thing. I remember when I was a kid, I was with my dad, and I realised how fucking dumbass this sounds now. We were in Sheffield, right? And he'd take us to a park, and there's a little canal, like a tiny, tiny, tiny canal with a tiny little bridge. And you could you could hop over, like with one leg on each, like do this. And he said, he told me, I don't know why I believe this, in the middle of Sheffield, over that side's Derbyshire, this side's Yorkshire. So I literally went, Derbyshire, Yorkshire, Derbyshire, Yorkshire, for no reason whatsoever. And I bet he found that fucking hilarious. Anyway, I wonder, state lines in the USA, where the time zone changes.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because, I was just thinking about it, and I was like, when does it become the past? When does it become the future? And when is it the present? Because surely, if you hit that point where you go over a state line, say it's like 8 a.m., and then obviously it's like 7. You're like, oh, hang on, I've now regained an hour. I'm in the past. But if you were then reversed and went back to 8 again, you'd be like, well, is this the future or the present? Because I was just thinking about it. And I was like, could someone just go past, present, future, past, present, future, past, and then go through sort of like equinal vortex and just disappear forever and be in the depths of space and time? Like they've broken time. They become Kang the Conqueror. Is that just what happens? That you just fucking destroyed all sense of you're in the multiverse now, and you can look at all time like, this is how he does it, bastard.
If we don't find out at the end of this Kang multiverse story, that's just because he stood on a time zone difference and started being an idiot, and it just
messing around. That'd be great. That would actually be great. That's if he comes back, though, obviously, because he's been done for something at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, yeah.
But still. Yeah, I don't know where it came from. I was just watching something and I'm just thinking about state lines, and I think it's because like San Fran and LA are like 8 hours behind, but New York's only 5. And like just that, because obviously the whole of the UK concept, the whole of the UK is all the same time zones. So we never think about it. No. But then when you go to the States, it's like, you've got Eastern, you've got Central, and you've got Pacific. And you're just like, hasn't Russia or Canada got like 8 different varieties?
Canada's got like 5 or something.
What an absolute mind fuck that would be. Do you know what I mean? You could regain and lose and regain, and it is just like, does the day ever end? I think there's a comedian. I'm sorry, I'm waffling on here. I think there's a comedian that says that he flew from America to Australia, and it was the 10th of April when he left, and it was the 12th of April when he got there, and he went, well, where's the 11th? Sorry, did I lose a day? Or like, can I have the 11th of April, please? I haven't lived it yet. It's like, what the fuck's happened? I've lost a day of my life.
Really scary thought.
Nuts, isn't it? Like, there must be scientists and physicians, I don't fucking know, people there going, oh, the quantum time zone, yeah, they've discovered it, boys, they've discovered it, fucking take them out. Those Chronicles boys have discovered our secret.
Oh, I fucking hate time zones. That's the one thing I've learned most from doing this show, especially in the early days, was working out time zones. My God, it's a nightmare, especially Canada. Like when we did our interview with Call Me Chris, my God, that was not fun to work out.
No, fair play, she came back though.
Okay.
But yeah, it is awful. Like we for work just had an event in San Francisco. And as I finished work, the event started, and I was like, because they're 8 hours behind, I was like, this is nuts. Like, this is really nuts. But it just how that whole concept. But I don't know if the further you go, the jet lag must destroy you. Because they're always like, don't fall asleep on the plane, but fall asleep on the plane, but don't. So fall asleep here, but don't fall asleep here. If you want to stay in your body clock. No, I'm good, thanks. I'll just stick to what I want to do. Basically, if I'm tired, I'm tired. But sticking. Sorry, I've talked a lot, Jamie. You will get your shot. I promise you that. I've just waffled. Sticking on the concept of time. Why the fuck were kids trying to get the time off an animal that howls? What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Why are you asking a wolf? What's it going to say to you? Ow! Or basically, nom nom, children are tasty.
Well, to be fair, if memory serves, it says the time and then sneaks up slowly behind you before you got to run away from it for the game.
Who the fuck made this up?
I don't know.
Why are you asking a wolf? Why don't you just ask a human being? Why don't you ask a teacher or your mum? Like, it makes no sense.
Mum, I was going to ask you the time, but I've just seen quite a friendly looking wolf over there. I'm going to ask him instead.
There's a whole pack. Yeah, there's a whole pack over there. They've got the fucking iPads out. So, let's go and ask them. I'd love it if the wolf was like, look, love, can you fuck off? I'm trying to work out my taxes. I've got a family of three to feed here. And let's just say it's not. I'm trying to fucking do with me accounting, and it's just not happening. All right. I've got a company merger coming, and it's to be about $3,000. If you don't mind, can you go and ask your mum for the time instead? For some reason, I don't even know why I can speak. I don't even know why I'm a tax accountant. Actually,
I'm a wolf. It's quite weird, really.
Yeah. Normally, I'm just hungry and I howl a lot.
I was going to go eat someone's grandma, but I thought, fuck it, I'm going to learn accountancy instead.
Oh, you talking about Red Riding Hood?
Yeah.
So tasty because she was wearing red. I would have left her alone if she hadn't fucking bothered me and kicked me bush. Her grandma's been telling me to piss off for years. That's why I hated the prick. I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll fucking dress up as the grandma. I'm a tax accountant here, so you've got to see the stresses of life here. The stresses of life. I've now got to eat a grandma, then try and eat her. You see what I mean, Charles? So go and ask your mum what fucking time it is and leave me alone.
And then tomorrow I've got to go try and break into some pigs' houses. It's a busy life I lead. It's a busy life.
And for some reason, they think I've got a massive set of lungs on me. I mean, dickhead here. My brother tried to blow down a house full of bricks. What a twat. It's obviously the hair. You go for the hair one. You go for the hair. Why do you go for the bricks, you fucking bellend?
I love the idea of this all being the same wolf, just having a really
100%
time of life.
100%. Yeah.
He just wants to do his taxes.
And for some reason, I don't know why they pick lions, but there's a king. Apparently there's a lion, it's a fucking king in Africa. Have you heard about this? Fucking mental, that. They're making animals kings now.
Jesus Christ, trying to kill me off.
And don't even talk to George down that road into the hall. Apparently, he's a fantastic fox. Yeah, mental. Sorry.
Yes, fantastic, Mr. Fox.
Anyway, how you doing, sir? You well?
I'm good. I also had a couple of things to bring up.
By all means.
Olivia came home from school the other day, yet again, with a new song that she's decided she wants to find out all about. And it was This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. So I was like, do you want to watch the film where it's from? I can't remember there being anything bad about this film, so we watched the film. And I forgot how many bloody songs are in that film. But it got me thinking, aren't musicals weird? Could you imagine real life being like a musical? It's like, dude's had an argument with his wife, walks up to her on the beach and goes, sorry, I got caught kissing some other woman on stage, and she starts singing at her. She'd be like, no, get the fuck out of here. Stop singing. Get away. Like, you walking down the road, just start singing a song. Wouldn't strangers just be like, why is this nutcase singing? What's going on?
No, is my answer, because TikTok exists.
Yeah, you've got me there.
So that is kind of what's happening now anyway. So dancing started. So people will put their phones out, start dancing in the middle of the street. So that's begun. So almost, Jamie, I think you're halfway onto something here.
I think we might be.
Life is almost becoming a musical.
Ooh.
Just got to wait for the singing part now. But the people who do, I do see people rap themselves and give it all this hand gesture motions. I don't know why this makes you. Does it make you rap better if you throw your hands out in front of you with fingers? Like, it's just like, yeah, brother, then I shanked up and I stole a custard creams, you know what I mean? I killed a nan. Like that sort of thing, like just random ass crap like that. And that's fine if you wanna MC and spit lines and that sort of thing. I don't know what the kids say these days. You spit some bars, is it? Something like that anyway. But yeah, so I think did she enjoy the film?
She did actually. Yeah, she did.
So is that now an obsession? Kids have their obsessions, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. She enjoyed it, but I don't know if it's going to be one. I was going to watch it again. So we'll see.
Was it a bit adult for her-ish in a way?
I think maybe it was just the storyline might have been a little bit. But as soon as This Is Me came on, she was well happy. She was like, "It's the lady with the beard that sings, Dad." Yeah. She got a fan there, but other than that. But yeah, you've got a point there. The world is going to turn into a musical. People are going to walk out and just start singing randomly in the streets and dancing, aren't they?
I think High School Musical started it,
yeah.
and now it's grown onto social media. Now it's its own platform.
It's happening.
I think possibly. I don't know if the singing part will actually happen, but we'll see.
I
go from there.
Somehow, I think it's going to happen.
What was your other point you wanted to bring up?
I won't lie. I stole this from someone. I stole this from a friend of ours, but it really made me laugh because you know how we like to dissect the English language.
Right.
And a friend of ours, friend of the show, Jasmine for the Noise Cartel, put something on Twitter which had me in stitches. Just simply said, on my Larry, on your Todd. Who are Larry and Todd? Why don't they just become like best mates and then invite Billy into the mix? I don't understand British slang.
Yeah, I never understood the whole use of names,
to
be frank. Just...
Oh, good.
Thank you. To be quite frank with you, I'm not entirely sure. Billy, no mates. Like, did Billy have no mates? I take it. Was he the only person? If you're called Billy, you were not allowed friends. And then you were on your Larry. So it's like, okay, so he's Billy, no mates, and now he's on his Larry, on his Todd. So who are Larry and Todd? So
it's Larry Loner.
Larry Loner, yeah.
No, mate, it's Larry Loner. What's Todd?
On your Todd, on your own.
Is it just on your Todd? Okay.
Is it? I don't know. Just these people are just not allowed friends by the sounds of it.
No. If your name's Billy, Todd, or Larry, you're not allowed friends. So.
They should join forces.
Yes.
And start eviscerating everybody that's not called that. I don't know. It's a very good point, though. It is a very good point how the British. I don't know if they do it in Japan or Spain, do they? On your Juan. Look on this Juan. I'd like to see you on your Carlos. All the Russians. I see Ivana be alone. That was terrible. That was so Austin Powers incorporated there.
It was very Austin Powers, but it was
very funny. I mean, who throws a shoe? But yeah, she has a great point because I'm trying to think now. I mean, Charles is a dance. The Charleston. No, okay. I don't know where I'm going with that. That was poor. That was poor effort. Poor effort on my behalf.
Oh, I quite liked it, but there we go.
You like everything.
I like everything. There it is. I was waiting for that. There it is.
Yeah. Anywho, how are you?
I'm good. I'm a little bit tired because I'm always tired. No, I had a hell of a week last week at work, and then started on earlies this week. So, and I didn't get to bed till late last night, so I got like 4 hours sleep. So
How come?
because I have to be up at 4 when I start earlies, and I just wasn't tired from going from working late. So by the time I'd actually got into bed last night, wasn't tired.
Body, fucking
Yeah.
shut down, please.
Wind that clock, please, body. But there we are. I'll be all right. I'm that knackered now. My head will hit the pillow as soon as we're done recording, and I'll be asleep. So it's fine.
I'll be amazed you haven't fallen asleep now. What you used to do.
There it is.
Back in those days. Back in dem days.
But, I'm good other than that. So, yeah. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. Buzzing for trees, of course. We are recording this on Sunday, the 3rd of July? 2nd of July. Right now, because we are very busy boys. We have meetings and we have stuff coming up, and then we're off to trees on Wednesday. So, yeah, really, really excited for that. It should be a good old time. First time ever being media impressed. So massive shout out to Good as Gold Group and James Scarlett for allowing us to be a part of it. So we're really excited. But yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm just gearing up for that more than anything else. I think it's just the only thing I can think about right now. So, and I just want it to, I love the summer, but I hate the humidity. So literally, as I sit here right now in this black hat and t-shirt, I'm absolutely cooking, which is why I've sumoed my shorts.
It's actually all right here. Oh, no, it's a nice temperature.
You're on the ground floor.
There is that too, yeah.
In a house. I'm in a 3-story flat on the top floor with the glass fucking side of the wall.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not very nice.
Yeah.
Not very nice. What have you been up to, my friend, anyway?
What have I been up to? Mostly Rhiannon, to be fair. Since we last recorded, my days off are Friday and Saturday. So before then, I was just non-stop Rhiannon. Like, we haven't done anything last week. Like, our this week post was pretty much empty for last week. But went out to go see the kids on Friday, which was great. Got to see my Sam and Lena. Sam just had an incredible parents' evening, so I had to go give him some love for that. Like, fair play. When he's in year 9 and his science teachers turned around and went, I want him to do A-level science. He's got it. I want him to do A-level science. It's like, fucking hell, it's like 3 years off before he's got to make that decision, but fair play. So he's doing really well. So very proud of my boy. So yeah, just had a nice day seeing them. And then yesterday we went to Brecky. Who's Brecky? I don't remember marrying anyone named Brecky. I'll try that one again. Went to Becky's brother's baby shower party thing. Their baby's due in 4 weeks. So we had a little celebration for that. Ready for the...
Fuck, is it?
Yeah, it's gone fast.
Did they announce that? When did they announce it? Christmas time?
Yeah.
They didn't get engaged. Wait, they didn't get engaged? I can't fucking remember. Carry on.
They got engaged and announced the baby on the same day to us, the family. So, well, coincidence? No, I'm joking.
What was one of those? Oh, shit, well, I'm going to have to now.
Yeah. I'm trapped now. I've got to. God damn it.
Good job, I fucking love you, innit?
But, me and Becky decided, we were like, wonder what the name's going to be, because they won't tell us the name, which is weird because James doesn't want anyone to know the name. His other half doesn't care. But James doesn't want anyone to know. So we're like, got an idea. We've got a piece of paper where everyone had to write down guesses for the name.
Can I have a guess?
Oh, go on then.
Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. That's a great name guess. I like that one. No. Gilgamesh. What a great name. Apparently.
I would.
Also,
sorry.
I was just
going to say, I would look at the Miami Dolphins is what I would do. Or West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, it's probably a good show. But it's weird.
Anyway,
he's a Baggies fan, but she's a Blues fan.
Oh!
It's pretty funny. There's a book going around saying like one wish for the baby, and the amount of people that have written, I wish you were a Villa fan, and it was fucking brilliant.
Or Wolves.
Yeah, I don't like football, and I thought that's a great line. I like that. But no, apparently someone got the baby's name right on this sheet of paper, so I want to know if it was me. Better than me.
What'd you win? Nothing?
Nothing, just a bit of street cred.
Then why'd you care?
I'll feel cool. I don't know.
Oh, okay. You win 2 jelly beans, and the keys to his Honda Civic doesn't drive anymore.
It's broken.
Amazing. 1997 Honda Civic. Yeah, sick.
Oh, that's one thing I've done this week as well, actually. I've sent off my provisional license, and I've got some quotes for driving lessons. I'm starting very soon as my license.
Holy shit.
So get this boy on the road. Yeah.
I hate it.
Shitting my
when, Oh, dude, you'd be fine. I really, really hate it. Would be like, get off the fucking road because I'm on there now. You know what, Colin? It wasn't funny the first time someone said that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of fucking like just what makes so you're an unsafe driver. That I definitely will be getting in a car with you.
I said one of our friends turned around and went, let me know what day you're going out on the road. I'll make sure to stay in the house that day. I was like, okay.
Oh, get in the fucking bin.
Thanks for the support, dickhead. Anyway.
Go and play in the seat. Can you let me know when you'll be out on the road so I can run you over? So I can make sure I completely total your car. Thank you very much. So I never have to hear that fucking sentence ever again.
But other than that, watching wise, I said last week I picked 2 programs to watch so I can balance it out a little bit more. Well, I'm on episode 4 of season 1 of Red Dwarf. I barely watched it, but I'm on like episode 10 of Yellow Jackets because I just can't stop watching it. So yeah, it's good. It's very good. At the same time, I wish it pick up the pace a little bit. I feel like, I don't know, I'm loving it, but I'm just like, give me a bit more.
Hang on a second. I thought episode 2 with everything was starting to come together and you were like, oh my God, this is going to be great.
But then I feel like they're stretching it out really far. I get a feeling it's going to be the end of this series and they'll be like, oh, we might start telling what actually happened now. Well, we might start. One of those sort of ones. So yeah, it is good though. And I do want to know what the fuck happened. And I'm just going to say it. The music's great. As expected. But yeah. What about you, my friend? What have you been up to?
Fuck all, mate.
Fuck all.
I re-entered and smashed my targets again for the second week in a row, which is a nice big. I love it. It's so lush. Like just getting all the fake, like, I'm so proud of you, well done. Like, oh, fuck off. What have I done this week? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I watched Forbidden Door. Really, really gutted I knew the result of the Kenny Omega match before I'd seen it because the match was sensational. And Danielson Okada was like, oh, this is meant to be like the greatest of all time versus the greatest of all time. And I was like, is that it?
Yeah.
Was that all it was? Omega Ospreay should be main event. That was shit. I was just waiting for the build-up. I was like, this is going to be amazing. And like everyone that starts like, holy shit, it's going to be so great. And then everyone was like, oh, right. Okay, well, that's the end of that then, I guess. The biggest thing that I screamed the flat down was Jungle Boy turning heel. Fuck, I was like, what the fuck? You get a vibe and like, I was like, he's going to attack him, isn't he? I was had that way. It's like, he's going to attack Hook. I can see it coming because they won't fuck off the stage. And I was like, oh, shit.
When 2 people who are friends or partners are like hanging around for that little bit too long, you're like, come on, which one's the Sean? Which one's the Marty? We know it's happening. Come on, just get out of the way.
So I watched that and I really enjoyed that. And I've just started Money in the Bank. I'm 2 matches in. So really, I won't, for anybody who's a wrestling fan listens to this, I won't spout off just yet. I'll wait till next week. But already it was like, I was a bit gutted about the, no, I won't talk about it. I'll save afterwards. So watching Money in the Bank. I went to Cheltenham yesterday for no fucking reason. Just did a lot of walking around. I went to Starbucks and then came back again.
Fair enough.
As you do. So there's some big carnival in Bristol or something. Other than that, so watching wise, I started Game of Thrones season 5. I might have told you that already.
Yes.
I'm on episode 3. I still haven't pursued that since. It's a lot of wrestling to catch up on. But before I came on here, me and Karis watched an episode on BBC iPlayer of Colin from Accounts.
Okay.
Australian comedy about a guy who runs over a stray dog, because a girl flashed him her tits on the road.
Okay.
Dude, it was the first step. We were laughing. I laughed a lot. It's one of those comedies. It's just like, it's a bit stupid, but it's like great at the same time.
Oh, that sounds appealing to me then.
Well, when you're watching someone throw a human shit out the window because the water's off, it was just great. It's just the way she flung it, and I was like, oh, it just really made me laugh a lot. Yeah. It's called Colin from Accounts. It's on BBC iPlayer. 8 episodes of Australian comedy, and I highly recommend because I was laughing quite a fair bit. Just stumbled across it and was like, this looks funny. I'll watch this. So yeah, other than that, man, like not a whole fucking lots. I'll tell you what I have been doing, booking a shit ton of interviews for 2000 Truths is what I've been doing. And planning our next live events. One's already completed. We have a meeting for one tomorrow. So yeah, we'll be announcing in due course our next live event. We're currently trying to book a few in just to make it a bit of a substantial announcement rather than the one, but one is complete. So we're very excited about that in November. So as they say, keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears on this station or whatever. I don't know how radio presenters do it. Keep listening out for Lewis Capaldi, 5 o'clock. Yeah, you can win yourself £250,000. Lovely, yes. Make sure you wait for it. It's Lewis Capaldi, yeah, not Harry Styles. Man, that's what I find with like Star and no offense, Josh, and Heart Radio and stuff, and Capital One. It's always like, oh yeah, like they used to be wedding DJs.
Yeah,
but you can now hear what they say. We're going to play you Harry Styles between 3 and 5. When you hear that sound, ring this number. Make sure you say Capital One out loud, and you can win yourself more 1 million fish. All right? Yeah, we love it.
It's so funny because every fucking station does that competition. We'll play this song by this artist in between these hours. Phone us and say, yeah, you played it.
Do you reckon that's their way of being like, nobody listens to the radio anymore? Let's give them a fuckload of money that we don't have and get them listed for hours on end.
Or they're just like, no one listens to us. We're not even going to play the song.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what we're going to do, right? Yeah, we're going to play you a song by SZA. The SZA Sisters, that is. Yeah, you didn't know that. You didn't see that coming, did you? Swerve. And it's going to be played between 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. But no one's going to tell you the day. You just have to guess. Yes, I know. And you could win yourself a Ford Mustang. 1969 range in America. It can't even drive over here. No one's going to fly it. Anyway. Sorry. I do apologize.
Oh, no, absolutely. Do you know what? I've barely coughed. And then as soon as I come in here, you make me laugh to the point I keep fucking coughing.
Let's just get the old short spread out a little bit because we're getting a bit sticky in here. And we should move on to Braden at Stay Cozy.
Yeah, I think after hearing about your sticky testicles, we probably should, yeah.
All right.
Is this thing on?
Well, howdy doody, everybody. This is Braden Berry from Say We Can Fly, founder of Stay Cozy Clothing, your one-stop shop for the coziest, most fashionable hoodies, t-shirts, and more.
Gosh, Mickey. That's right, folks. And we're proud to say that we are now sponsoring
the Chronicles of Podcast. Ouch.
Hosted by Tom and Jamie.
Like, you can get 10% off, man! That's right, Shaggy! Just use the special code, The Chronicles, at checkout.
Oh, boys!
And Jamie, it wasn't my testicle, it was thine ass. But anyway, I'll say it once, I've said it twice, I've said it 15,000 times. That advert we played between 3 and 5. That is the greatest advert of all time. Hands down, no one can top it. No one can beat it. Scoop, there it is by Tag Team for Geico is close, but nobody will top it. But Jamie, it's time for your favorite segment of the week.
Oh yeah,
Callum's Treachings.
Bring it.
Do you want to know something? Callum will be able to tell you in Callum's Treachings.
Is cereal soup?
Ooh.
So, welcome to another edition of Callum's Treachings. Here we go, mother lovers, your favourite segment of the week. Jamie!
Yes, sir.
What is Callum treaching us this week?
Dogs are probably the first genetically modified organisms.
Shit, he's right, with crossbreeding and stuff.
Oh, shit! Oh, okay. Yeah, because but I mean, does it work with different races or different nationalities of human?
I mean, it's the genetics and they're modifying it, but
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because I feel like I get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, probably. I'll stick into dogs myself, yeah.
So, okay. Cats? Were dogs first? What animal was first? Crocodiles?
I don't really know, actually.
I'm trying to... Callum, you've got us stumped here.
I think with dogs, it's more like, oh, I've got a Dalmatian. Oh, I've got a Labrador. let's get them together and make spotty babies. Whereas cats, they're going to go.
No, I've got to. No, I've got a Dalmatiador.
Dalmatiador.
A Labmation. And we'll sell it for £50,000 if you can list this song between 3 and 5. I wonder why no one's ever done that. It's always like, oh, I've crossbreeded. It's like, I've crossbreeded this beagle with this Alsatian and I've called it a poodle. Like, it makes no sense.
The names just don't make any sense.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I can think of. Because, like I say, with dogs, humans sort of have to introduce them as cats. Like I say, they just go outside and fuck. We have no involvement in that. They do their thing.
Oh, I see now. So it's by humans. Because for some weird reason in my head, I was going, you don't see a horse just like clopping away, being like, oh, what a lovely day. Turns and sees an alligator and goes, well, mine made a bit of that.
I just thought of early South Park.
I'll alligator. I'll fucking destroy you, alligator. Could you imagine what that would look like? Like, it'd be
weird,
huge, but reptile. Oh my god, it'd be fucking taking over the world.
I know, right? That sounds terrifying.
An alligator that could run as fast as a horse. No thanks. I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'll see you later. All right, alligator.
Head coming. Hey,
I'm here all week. Who throws a shoe?
Decide, you know, like on radios where people have like that button they press, whatever fucking noise button they've got. I want one for just who throws a shoe now. Throws a shoe.
Anyway, I'm trying to think of really horrendous fucking combinations of animals now, like a kangaroo-elephant.
It's just the names that made me laugh.
Can we call it an Ellie-roo? Oh, that'd be amazing. That's amazing.
I just got this vision of this kangaroo body, this giant fucking elephant head on it. It's
because you got to think about it. Like, if an elephant fucked a kangaroo and it became an Ellie-roo, it'd be the size of an elephant that could beat the shit out of you on 2 feet. No, thank you.
Oh. Although what kind
Can
of
we make sure
the horse-a-dial fight?
Yeah. The horse and gator, we'll keep them away from each other. Yeah, but you are right, Callum. I don't know where the fuck we went with this, to be honest with you. We went down some dark fucking holes. You think of the rat with 4 anuses on South Park, whatever it was. It had like 5 anuses.
It's one of the first episodes where they try and get an elephant and a pig. I think it's an elephant.
That was it. Yeah.
Dr. Mephisto?
An elephant and a pig's DNA just won't splice. Yeah. I think we should move off this subject before people start getting ideas and try and mate other animals to create like super animals that then can kill the human race.
Yeah, like the Ellie-roo. I'm scared of the Ellie-roo.
Probably, if it's kind nature's elephant, it'd be fine. Jamie, what else is Callum teaching us this week?
Considering the number of Mission Impossible movies that have come out, the missions don't seem too impossible anymore.
So true. It's so true because they've got another one coming out now and it's part 1.
Yeah.
The mission was that impossible they had to put it to 2 movies.
Mission slightly harder than the previous ones because it's going to take us 2 movies this time.
I'd love it if it was just called Mission Impossible. Then Tom Cruise goes, no, actually, it's not actually that impossible because I've completed 6 of them already. So I'm pretty sure anybody could do these missions, to be honest with you. But for some reason, I thought you'll laugh when you hear this. Like, I thought that it'd be impossible, which is why I called them impossible, because I had to come down from a ceiling with loads of lasers everywhere and that sort of shit, jump out of planes, fucking fly off trains and that sort of shit. But actually, Quentin, are you listening to me? Listen, look, Quentin, here. You know about Scientology? So anyway, I thought these missions would be impossible, but I talked to my alien god and he told me that they weren't. So I've made loads of them because apparently they're not that impossible. I got Simon Pegg in for no reason. He seems to be like some genius that does shit now. Yeah, no, we should call it Mission Improbable, just to be on the safe side.
More like Mission Slightly Inconvenient at this point.
Yeah, Tom, can you do another one? Oh, for fuck's sake, do I have to? I was trying to suck my alien god off here. Because apparently Scientology... Well, why is it not, Scientology to go? Is that to go with biology, chemistry, and physics? Is that a GCSE now or something?
Oh. It's nice to attack another religion that isn't Christianity for a change.
Or it's just a load of bullshit that someone made out to make a fuckload of money out of you, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
What a load of shit. And finally, Jamie, what else is Callum teaching us this week?
Getting an escort and getting escorted have very different meanings.
Well, now we're fucking talking.
Oh, fuck me. These are...
What happens then? What happens if you get escorted by an escort?
Oh, that's a good point. You hire someone to get you out of a room.
I mean, if you get escorted by an escort, then it's both got the same meaning. Have they not? Because you've been escorted. They're basically living up to their name.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like, come onto this website and buy me because I'm an escort. And they come over and go, cool, lovely, just get out. There's your 150 quid, fuck off. All right?
My money now. Now I'm going to escort you off my fucking premises. Get out of here.
But I'd love it if someone, do you reckon some morons obviously falling for it thinking, securities go, we're going to escort the premises to go, really? Yeah. Is she fit? Or is he fit? Or are they fit? Who is it? I'm down for anything, me. No, we're actually going to just take you off site because you keep flashing. And no one wants to see your tiny little penis, mate, all right? Yeah, but I'm waiting for the escort, Ben. Like, have you not seen... That's why... Yeah, but you're in a fucking supermarket. And Fiona's in with Karen, and they're not happy about it.
Oh, Fiona and Karen, is that their names? Ooh.
Yeah. Are they going to escort me off the premises? Just like jacking off all the way off. That'd be so funny. If there's like an escort area where you're getting an escort while you're getting escorted. So it's like trying to do all the sexual things in like 2 minutes to get you out the door.
That's a really, really specific kink. It really is a very specific kink.
What would you like to do? I like to get escorted by escorts. What? You would? I'll let you decide for that, Bill. I'm off for a shag.
I'd like to pay attractive ladies to throw me out of the building.
Yeah, but you said that's a really specific kink. How weird is that fucking the money one? They want to be broke by women all the time. They send all their money to them and stuff like that. I can't remember what it's called.
That's a thing. Okay, I never heard that.
There's one where guys can pay women or guys or them, or like whoever the fuck they want. They give them all their money.
And they get off.
And make them feel broke and that sort of thing. Let's go take all my money. And they get turned on by the fact that they're broke. I can't remember what the term is. Terms in my head, I can't remember what it is.
I don't want to kink shame people. I'm not into doing that, but what the fuck? Why?
I think it's people that have too much money. Just like the idea of it. Yeah.
That's people that can afford to do shit like that, basically. Yeah.
We don't shame anybody here, lads. We don't shame anybody at all. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into, and that's all good with me.
But if it will help you get your jollies off, feel free to send me your money. That's all I'm saying.
But Callum, that last treat was absolutely fucking stellar. Absolutely superb.
Oh, free for free yet again.
And of course, the bastard makes me have to follow this shit. It's time for Tom's Journal.
Oh, read to me.
And welcome to another edition of Tom's Journal. Welcome to another edition of Tom's Journal. And Jamie, will kick off with a bang.
Oh, okay.
Today, I fucked up by saving my husband. Are you ready for this story?
Okay, go on.
I once thought my husband was falling out of bed. So I grabbed him tenderly, cuddled into him, and sweetly said, "It's okay, darling. I've got you." That's what half asleep me thought I was doing. Anyway, in reality, I threw my palm onto his face like the facehugger alien and screamed incoherently into his ear. Also, he wasn't falling out of bed. Fucking excellent.
Fucking Fucking brilliant. Also, sounds like something I'd probably do, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why I feel it's a story here.
No, I know I've done some weird shit in my sleep, so I wouldn't put that past me, to be honest.
Oh, okay, fair. Oh, Jane. I mean, the day the casino gets an Uno table is the day I'll start gambling.
Why isn't that a thing?
I know, right?
Fuck poker. Uno.
Uno is the greatest invention of card game in the history of ever.
Plus, I can play Uno. I can't play poker.
Yeah, I can't play poker. I don't get it.
No, man.
I've never got it. I've tried. I'm like, I don't get this.
Weird.
Yeah, but there we are. At least I won't lose a shitload of money. Look, when I'm present at video games, all games will have an Adults with Busy Lives feature. Hi, I see you haven't played this game in a month. Here's a reminder of the last things you did and where you need to go next. Press X for a quick tutorial of the controls you forgot.
I need this more than you could realise. I've had to restart at least 2 games off the top of my head because I can't remember where I am, what I'm doing, what the controls are, anything, and can't get any further in the game. Last of Us and Horizon Zero Dawn, I had to start again because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing.
Oh, it's like Last of Us again, dude.
I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, where I was, anything.
That's absolutely fantastic.
I need that.
We need Uno in casinos. We need the Last of Us tutorial, the tutorial for games if you forget for busy life. We also need this. They need to change the phrase holiday request. It's more holiday awareness because I'm not requesting anything. I'm making you aware that you will not see me.
To be fair, I said that when I was going to Spain because I was still waiting for it to be signed off. I was like, I'm not going to be here. I've got tickets booked for a plane. I'm not going to be here. So
I hate it when jobs go, you can't pre-book holidays before you've had it confirmed by us. So until we consent it, you can't buy anything. How about, Jane? You fuck off.
Yeah.
Right? Because you've been on 7 holidays and this is my first one in 10 years. How about you suck a dick? I'm off to Greece. Because I remember being at Asda working nights, and I was like, "Oh, I'm off to the States for the first time ever in 2018." And they were like, "Yeah, you're not going. We're not letting you go." I went, "Right." I was like, "No, I don't think you listened to me here. I've just worked my fucking ass off doing 2 jobs. So I can go to America by myself for 10 days." And they're like, "Yeah, we can't let you have it." I went, "Cool. I'll quit then. I'll leave. Here's my notice. Bye bye." And just did the one job instead, and had a heart attack. Anyway,
I wonder if I always forget about that.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, good times.
Yo, just put up outside. I shall receive you in my chamber. Look, can you just say, can you come inside?
I love that. I want to do that.
Me. No, I haven't read them. I've never really enjoyed reading. It's just not my thing. My boss, Laura, those are emails, and this is your job.
Somehow, some days, I wish I could say that.
Man, look, I just don't know how to act around warm bread. Have you smelt freshly baked bread?
Oh, okay. Now I'm with you now. Yeah, that was so
Jamie Westwood. Yeah.
Great smell.
I used to work at Waitrose, right? This is my first ever job when I was 16, and I worked in the frozen department, which was right next to the bakery. So every time I'd come out of the freezer with all this stuff, I'd go, oh my God, I think I'm getting erect. Why is it the greatest smell ever?
It is such, it just makes you feel happy inside, doesn't it? But then
it just turns you on.
Bread.
Yeah. It's just glorious on so many levels.
Fresh
and
baked bread with proper
just that. Oh, okay. Let's move on before we start getting, turned on here and ended up ringing for an escort to escort us. Look, I feel so bad when I overtake an old person on the sidewalk. Like, man, I really didn't mean to flex you on. I really didn't mean to flex on you with my youthful stride.
Youthful stride like that. Oh, there is nothing worse than getting stuck behind a slow walking old person.
Or just a slow walker in general, but yeah, it's the worst thing ever.
Because with old people, you feel bad like trying to get past them, but you try and be respectful of manners at the same time. You're like, will you fucking move?
I was on the train going to Charles on Saturday. There's this old guy using the toilet. He just like hobbled over because I was sat by the door because I couldn't be asked to sit, next to somebody for no reason. And he looked at the buttons really closely and he was just looking up and down. And I went, opens at the top. And he went, thank you, and pushed it. And I toddled inside. And Jamie, I'm not joking, he was there for like 5 minutes going, where's clothes? I was like, oh my God. So I smacked the close button on the outside and the door shut. It's like, fucking hell. And then when he'd done and he came out, he started looking for clothes again. I was like, oh, just go and sit down, man. He spent the entire journey just trying to find the fucking close button.
Oh, bless him. That's adorable.
When I was 10, my teacher asked us to write a short story about our best friend. I looked at mine and smiled. I then wrote everything I knew about him. Once we were done, the teacher asked for volunteers to read our story out loud. My best friend went first. I was not in his story.
Oh. My heart just broke a little bit for this fictional 10-year-old boy. Oh. That's not where I saw that going. That's heartbreaking. Oh, you'd be devastated, wouldn't you?
I know. We're like, oh my, Luke is the best, blah, 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 blah. Oh, Luke, would you like to read your story? Hello, of course I would. Simon is an absolutely one. Simon? What do you mean? You'd change your name really quickly, wouldn't you? You'd change your name really fast and be like, Brian was the...
Brian is this friend on my road none of you know.
He really likes football and escorts. So, I have a feeling this is 150,000% you.
Oh, God, I'm scared.
If a woman asks if you notice anything new, tell her I do. Your beauty surprises me every single day. And then continue to think about velociraptors.
Oh. Well, what can I say? You know me far too well, sir.
Have you noticed anything different? No, well, your beauty surprises me every single day. Now, I wonder if they could run that quick.
Just walked up and...
Superb. Now, this entry is a re-entry from fucking years ago. Okay. And when I start reading it out, you're going to know exactly why it's come back to the journal this week. I stumbled across this one more time, was like, this has to go back in again, just because it's just so fucking wonderful. And our random obsession with it for so long just made me really giddy and happy inside, and I had to just relive it one more time. Jamie, are you ready?
Go on.
One was given to Monica in his life. One was given to Erica by his side. One was given to Sandra in the sun. And one was given to Mary all night long. But they were all of them deceived. Deep in the fires of Mount Doom, the Dark Lord Lou Bega forged a master mambo. That mambo was number 5.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Oh, that is a great journal intro. Oh, fuck me. I forgot all about that. I suppose there's been quite a few that reference Mambo number 5.
We used to love Lou Bega. I don't remember why we brought him up, but he was referenced quite a few times. Oh, well, there was like Where the Fall of Mambos and that sort of thing, and we got into a bit of a Lou Bega thing. Yeah. I'll give you a couple more. Jamie, when I die, don't look for me in the sunsets. I'll be chasing up the stairs after you turn the lights off.
Bastard.
And finally, I'm going to end on this because I think this should just be a thing, even though I haven't got kids. My 6-year-old just saw how many emails I have to do something about. He suggested just replying to all of them with, go away and never contact me again. He's available for all of your business and PA needs.
Considering how many emails the wife has to deal with at work every single day, I'm going to pass that piece of advice on. I'm going to see if she does it.
Yeah, let's see if Olivia can... Sorry?
She won't do it. She should, but she won't.
Okay. There we are. And that was another edition of Tom's Journal.
Bravo, sir. Bravo. That was glorious.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, sir. I thoroughly appreciate it. But I suppose we should get down to what everyone's here for.
Yeah. Okay.
And bring that piece in, yeah? Welcome to the Chronicles of Dustin Murphy.
Did Anya survive?
Dustin Murphy is an award-winning writer, director, producer, and according to his bio, he creates work at the crossroads of social impact and commercial crowd pleasers. I really love that way of describing his work. It's great. Dustin has produced 2 web series, 9 short films that have been recognised by the Academy Award and BAFTA qualifying film festivals, and he's here today to promote his first feature film, Coyote, a dystopian sci-fi starring Therica Wilson-Read from Netflix's The Witcher. Watch the trailer before you watch this. It looks fantastic. This interview is great. I love this. It's so inspiring. You guys are going to love this one.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dustin, for coming on the show. A massive shout out again to Tom Brumpton for organising this one for us and getting in touch. It was an absolutely glorious conversation. So much fun. And yes, his brand new movie Coyote is out soon. He also is the CEO of Kino Short Film. So if you're an independent director or an independent movie maker in the UK, please do reach out on Instagram to Kino Short Film, Kino Short Film, because you will not be disappointed. They do a lot of work to benefit you and you benefit them in turn. It just, everyone looks after each other, works with each other. It's absolutely incredible. But Dustin, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was an absolutely amazing conversation and I can't wait for you guys to hear this one. It's pretty beautiful. Jamie!
Yes, sir.
Any final words at all?
Just a massive thank you to this week's guest, and may we say, the greatest promotional tool of a backdrop you will ever see, ladies and gentlemen. This is so much fun. Again, thank you so much to Dustin for taking time out of your day and talking to us, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, interviewing this week, it's Dustin Murphy. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Now that is a snazzy background. That is how you promote a film, my friend. That is good. I like that.
Doing what I can.
So, this right here, this is a movie I made. I don't know if you know anything about it. You should hear.
Oh, this old thing. Oh.
Dustin, what's a poster for your film look like? Quick.
How are you doing? You okay?
Good. How are you guys doing? Where are you guys based?
I'm in Birmingham,
and I'm down in shithole Newport, Wales. So it's not a very nice town. I'll be honest.
Is it just as hot there as it is in London at the moment? That's where I am.
Yeah, I mean, I live in a top floor flat, so it's 33 degrees in here right now. So, and the ginger as well. I'm surprised I'm not just a massive puddle on this screen. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yes, well.
It'll get more moist and foggy by the end of the conversation, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll be doing that on the camera's like, you're still there? What's going on? Hello? What was going to happen is Jamie's going to do a nice introduction, just lure you into a false sense of security, make you feel safe, secure, happy to be here, and then we're going to absolutely bombard the living crap out of your questions. How does that sound?
Sounds wonderful. I would expect nothing less.
Oh, good. Excellent.
I hate to disappoint. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring you another wonderfully talented guest. This week's guest is a filmmaker who in his career so far has helped create 2 web series, 1 feature film, and 9 short films. Not that much, come on, all in a day's work. He uses his talents to create projects that work at the crossroads of social impact and commercial crowd pleasers, and reportedly, he loves a good twist, Whether that's a plot of a story or the dance is up to you to find out. Here to talk all about his brand new and first ever feature film, Coyote, and so much more. Boys and girls, put your hands together as we bring you the Chronicles of Dustin Curtis Murphy.
Thank you so much for having me on.
No,
Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure as always. But I think we should get to the really hard hitting stuff immediately, Dustin. How have the last few years been for you with the pandemic?
Oh, ups and downs. Part of it's been great. Part of it's been an absolute shit show. It's probably been, as most people can say.
Because obviously being from LA and then being in the UK must have been kind of, is it like a family and everything? Are they all back in the States still?
Yeah. So, I moved over to the UK in 2017. So pretty much in the States, I have my folks still. So mom and dad are over there. So, yeah, it was a good almost 2 years where you didn't see them. And that was tough. But luckily we have Zoom and we're learning how to survive on Zoom. But I've seen them since, and I'm actually headed out to LA this week. So it'll be good to catch up with them again. But I have seen them since the pandemic.
Oh, good. Is it one of those where did you do like the quizzes that everyone used to do for some random reason? We did quizzes every like Thursday or Friday night or whatever it was.
We didn't do much of that. I think that might be a little bit more of an English thing than an American thing. Basically we would just do a bunch of crying. Like, whoa, we're together.
I don't know whether to laugh at that or be like, oh, mate, like, I feel for
it was a joke. It was the joke.
Okay, good.
I have a unique sense of humor. It was definitely a joke.
But Mr. Murphy, take us back to the start for you. What did young Master Murphy wish to be when he was growing up? Was it always the world of film for you?
Yeah, pretty much. I always wanted to be something creative. I guess if you take me all the way back, I wanted to be an archaeologist because I loved Indiana Jones and I loved Jurassic Park, and I wanted to be an astronaut because I loved sci-fi. And, so after going through those very, thoughtful decisions as a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old, I realized, hey, what's the common denominator here? Oh, it's movies. You can be anything you want to be if you are in film. So, I was always creative from the get-go. I started out as a child actor at the age of 5. Mom and dad have stories of me listening to or watching Aladdin and trying to impersonate the genie and being like, all right, there's something more to this kid other than getting him involved in Little League. So let's get him involved in community theater. And from there, I started doing, regional theater, got swept up more into production in my teens, and just been trying to figure out a way how to make a living in the arts ever since.
Love it. But where did that love of film come from, though, to draw you in? Was it the performance, the story, the spectacle, just all of it?
It's probably the play of it, really. I think we're all born to play, and I think as people go through their education, the play gets worked out of them, but we're all creative beings. I think if you look at the most creative people on the planet, they're children, and lots of times children get institutionalized and the creativity gets worked out of them, and then you get boring adults. And I think the artists are the adults that learned how to continue to play throughout their entire lives and hopefully make a living out of it.
Like that. That's great.
It is great. But what blew my mind was that at 6 years old, you wanted to dig things up. And at 6, I don't know. I was 6 a very long time ago, but I'm trying to work out what a 6-year-old would think an archaeologist does. Is it like, I just get a brush and brush away?
No, what they think they do is they think you're going to, reinvent the dinosaur, and you're going to go to the jungle and go into a cave and get chased by a rolling boulder. That's what they think archaeologists do.
Oh, I'd love to get chased by a massive boulder that could crush me and kill me. That'd be incredible.
It's called the action adventure fun.
It's amazing. So, I know you started from a very young age, like you said there. But you started studying film at 13, did I read, and making things for festivals at the age of 15. Like, what? I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life at that age.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been unique that way. It's never been trying to figure out what I want to do. It's just trying to figure out how to do what I want to do. So yeah, being born in Southern California, junior highs and high schools out there. So junior high starts about the age of 12. They have video production class. So I got involved in video production class. It was a 3-year course that you would do. Afterwards, I became a teacher's aide and, so continued to be in that world. And I remember the little studio we had on campus was always my little haven. It was places that I would want to spend my lunch hour. On weekends, I would be shooting something and bring it in to class to show. So there was no amount of homework from that class that was ever enough for me. But then, it was actually my dad that really encouraged me to start getting more involved in taking film a bit more seriously. So he bought some college level curriculum for me that we started studying more around the age of 14, 15. It was kind of that summer in between 8th and 9th grade that I actually started focusing on things like production design and cinematography. Before that, it was all just, me playing with mom's video camera in the backyard and pretending to be a cowboy and putting on a paper mustache and writing a sticker around and pretending it's a horse. So once I started taking myself a bit more seriously, I took myself extremely seriously and was turning myself into, you guys ever seen Rushmore, the Wes Anderson second film?
No,
I have not, no.
So obscure reference of the day, I guess I win. But if any listeners have seen Rushmore, it's essentially that kid. Max Fisher is this high school student who is all about his extracurricular activities. And I think he stages a version of Al Pacino's Serpico for his high school and does like a whole version of Platoon with Vietnam explosions on stage, and it's just completely over the top. But essentially, that was me in high school. I would take over the school gymnasium and host my film premieres there. I partnered with a local community theater group and wrangled about 50 people in the local community to be a part of this period musical that was, stealing music from a swing band that I liked, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, and pieced this entire opus together at 16 years old and put it on in the two screenings in the high school gymnasium with 1,400 people in town came to watch. So I was always extremely ambitious. Let's say that.
It paid off. It's a fair play. I know if I'd turn around to people and gone, "Come to my show," my mom might turn up.
I think there's quite a difference between the British and the Americans in that sort of retrospect, because like Jamie just said, if Jamie for example, put on a movie or something at 15 years old in a school, probably about our mates are probably about 5 people, whereas I think Americans are a lot more passionate about this sort of thing. So the fact that you've got 1,400 people to attend that at that age is phenomenal. And I'm not worthy. I'm just not worthy. I can't. I have never achieved. I'm 36 and I've never achieved anything like that in my life at all. So hats off to you, sir. Hats off.
Well, cheers. Yeah, thanks. I know that there's just definitely something about. I've lived in the UK and I've lived in for 6 years now, and previously I'm from the US, and there's definitely a level of unrepentant confidence that Americans just tend to tackle things, whereas a lot of the British apologize for their successes. I found it's like, I won a BAFTA, so I mean, I hope it's okay.
What is overly polite about everything?
Americans are like, I made a movie on my iPhone. It is better than Gone with the Wind. You need to watch it now.
It's so true. We are literally the politest nation ever. It's sorry about that. Sorry. No, after you, of course. No, you before me. Please do. Didn't you play going to back very slightly? You played Tom Sawyer in a play and won an award for it. Is that correct?
That's true. You've done your research. Yes. So back in my theater days when I was an actor, kind of my biggest success was as an actor was doing a theater run of Tom Sawyer, where I won an Inland Empire Theater League Award for that show. That was when I was 13. So before my shift to film.
So what was it? Was theatre never the goal? I take it then, because of the love of film. I take it was a bit too I just have to do film. So why did you do theatre as well? Was it just to expand that knowledge? I take it.
No, I mean, so the theater was kind of my gateway drug. So I started out in theater. I think that was, I was quite young. My parents noticed a kind of a creative spark in me. They got me involved in that. And then from there, I led the way into film. I think because you have a little bit more control over film. Yes, you can write a play, but I was always the type of person that wanted to say something with my art rather than somebody who wanted to facilitate what others have to say. I think film gives you that control over your own career. As an actor, you're at the whim of the casting directors, or sometimes you might get cast in something that doesn't, align with your values, but you're like, oh, it's a good role, so I'll do it, even though that's not really the type of roles that I want to be doing. As a writer-director, it's, I want to tackle this topic. It's very important to me. What's a good way to do that? What's a creative way to do that? And so I think it was kind of that element of self-expression that essentially drew me to film. And writing in particular, but film is it's the super art. It's all the arts combined. It's so fun because it's collaborative, which is probably why I'm not a novelist, is because I actually genuinely love getting on set and collaborating with people at every phase of production and post-production. There you go. Long answer to your question.
I love long answers. Yes, I love them. More long answers, the better, Dustin. If you want to talk more, keep going.
They're our bread and butter long answers. We love them. But what was your foot in the door? Try that one again. What was your foot into the doorway of the industry, though? Because you didn't study at college, did you? You just went straight into working.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was one of those things to where, at the time, everybody was saying, the question was always, where are you going to go to college? It was never if you're going to go to college. And now looking back, you have a lot of people of my generation going, oh, mom and dad told me to go to college, that it would unlock all these opportunities for me. And now I'm in debt and I have no opportunities. So I was fortunate enough to where, my parents were supportive to say, go to college if you want to go to college. We will support that. I mean, we toured film schools. I went to New York Film Academy, had a tour there, Chapman University, USC, UCLA. So it was something I was heavily considering. And what I essentially decided to do was take a gap year. I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to go straight from high school into college. I want to focus on writing. So I wrote my first feature screenplay, actually as a senior in high school. And then was fortunate enough to get that in front of a producer who liked the style of it, but didn't quite like the story. So we wanted to see what else I had. And he ended up optioning one of my concepts. So I wrote another script for him. So I was 18. I had this option from a producer in Hollywood. He was actually the same guy who produced Noah Baumbach's first 3 films, his 3 indies in the 90s, like Kicking and Screaming, if you're familiar. And I also was volunteering for film festivals, and I met a producer-director team who were also Academy members. So they voted for the Academy Awards, and I became their personal assistant. So after all that happening, kind of my first year, my gap year, it was kind of a question of, okay, well, do I go back to film school where it's a 4-year program? The first 2 years, they don't even put a camera in your hand. So it's all theory sitting in class. And then the other 2 years, they have, they decide who gets to direct which projects. So there's this chance you could actually go all the way through a 4-year film school without actually getting to do the role that you want to do. And you're going to end up in debt because at the time, you're looking at $70,000 per year. So $70,000 times 4. So it wasn't that I didn't like want to go to film school or like, said just like, oh, screw you, film school. It was more like from a practical standpoint, I had other options on the table. I didn't really want to be in debt. And yeah, just decided to take a little bit of a different non-traditional route.
No, it's fair because obviously that sounds like a step back from where you were. That's something you're going backwards to start all over again, to do it all that you were doing already in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So plus all sci-fi with schools, when you get to about 16, I know it's the one that's like, here they go. So what do you want to be when you grow up? You go, something. I'll do something. It's like, go to university. Okay, I'll study construction. I don't like it, but I'll do it because my parents say it's a good thing to do. You know what I mean? And then you get to like 30, you go,
Sure.
Why the fuck did I just do that? I work at a greengrocer's. I'm nowhere near construction.
Yeah.
So like that whole year for you must have been huge because literally that was your foot in. You're like, well, I'm kind of doing it anyway.
Yeah, I was. I mean, so I was already making, short film projects. I'd already written features. I was, in development, trying to get the first feature off the ground. And yeah, so it was just kind of that logical step. And I mean, absolutely one of the pinnacles of that year as an 18-year-old kid. It was the first time that I was actually able to attend the Oscar ceremony, which was just this absolute whirlwind. It was 2007, the year that Martin Scorsese finally won after decades of brilliant work. He was finally recognized. And it was just, this crazy story of, this 18-year-old kid who somehow managed to be there at the apex of Hollywood out of nowhere.
Didn't you meet him, Martin?
I did. So you want the full story for your podcast?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Always.
So, all right. So let's see, where do you begin? It's such a crazy story of how I even got there in the first place. But basically, I was the personal assistant to Academy members. And those Academy members were starting a film festival to where the highest donor to their film festival would get to go to the Oscars with them. So when you're Academy members, you can buy to get tickets to attend the Oscars, but you're not allowed to sell them and give them, but you can give them to friends. So they were kind of like sneaking their way in there. And last minute, somebody backed out. So they were like, hey, do you want a ticket? And I was like, okay, sure, I'll do that. No problem at all. So they wanted me to film the entire thing. So I was doing some kind of behind the scenes of, like their festival journey and their trip to the Oscars and all of that type of stuff. And so I get out on the red carpet with my camera, and then security comes around and they're like, "Oh, put that camera back in the car." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure, not a problem. Like, I'm not supposed to be here anyways, and I don't want to do anything to get kicked out." And I walk into kind of the security section, and I'm like, "Well, this is where I'm going to get turned around because I have a ticket that says Victoria on it, and I'm clearly not Victoria. So we'll see what happens." But I don't know. This producer I was with just kind of blagged his way in, and here I am walking the industry line of the red carpet, not the star line, because there's two red carpets. There's to get your picture taken and the express line. And yeah, and then we make it in, and I'm just in absolute shock. I'm just glued to my chair. I'm like, I have no idea. I mean, I've watched the ceremony growing up. I had no idea that I would ever be here, especially so quickly. It's always that fantasy. And yeah, it was a beautiful ceremony. I remember after the fact, I just kind of out there waiting on the red carpet, and around the corner comes George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola, and I reach my hand out and I tell Francis Ford Coppola my favorite film of his, which happens to be Rumblefish. Good film. If anybody hasn't seen it, go watch Rumblefish. And he shakes my hand and says, "Oh, thank you very much," and walks past. And I'm like, oh, surely the night is never going to get any better than this. Sure, like this is the apex, right? And the producer I'm with is still not satisfied with just getting into the Oscars. He wants to try to get into the Vanity Fair after party. So I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. I'm along for the ride. Let's go. So a little quick caveat is that he had worked with one Oscar-winning actress before. And as part of his film festival, he was showing her Oscar off in a museum. And part of the prize for the winners was that they could take the Oscar to return it to its rightful owner and meet that star. So he happened on this Oscar night in Hollywood to have an Oscar in hand. And he said the best way to get into the Vanity Fair after party is to be on the guest list, be a celebrity, or have an Oscar in your hand. So we're going to use this puppy to try to get in. I'm like, okay. And he says, everybody knows who I am, so you have to hold it. Okay. So we, line up in limousines to get into the Vanity Fair after party. They try to turn us around. He flashes the Oscar, then they usher us closer and finally usher us all the way in. And everywhere you turn, it's celebrity, 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 celebrity. It's, Will Smith and Vince Vaughn and Oprah and Al Gore. At one point in the evening, I get a tap on the shoulder and I turn around and it's Martin Scorsese. And he's holding out his personal camera and he says, hey, can you take a picture of me and my friend? So I say, sure, yeah, that's fine. So I take a picture for him and he looks down and sees that I'm holding an Oscar and he says, oh, you got one too. Of course, I don't say that it's not mine or how I got in. And I say that, some of the people that I've worked with before have nicknamed me Scorsese because I have, thick eyebrows like he does. And he's a very, generous man. He says like, oh, people with thick eyebrows, that's just proof that they're more creative. And, here he is, the toast of the town in Hollywood on, the night that he's won his Oscar. And he's kind enough to, chat with me for maybe a minute and a half, give me that of his time. Yeah, the guy's an absolute legend in the film world. And I'm so glad I've had my little moment with him.
That's amazing. That is awesome.
I mean,
only in Hollywood, folks. Only in Hollywood.
Fair play for getting in. Fair play for just going, yep, absolutely. I'm here. And we're going all the way. The whole hog. Let's do it.
I'm surprised you didn't turn into Tom early and just like full Wayne's Order. Like, I'm not worthy. So let's talk about your own work. Like you've said, you focus on serious matters. You have a dramatic tone to your work. Where does that desire to talk about social issues come from?
Oh, it's a good question. I mean, I think every artist kind of has an existential crisis at one point of like, why am I doing what I'm doing? So it's fine to just make art that's purely entertainment, and there's absolute space for that in the world, and I think that's probably what most art is, or most films are, is entertainment. But then, yeah, it does beg the question: is there some deeper meaning and deeper reasons behind why we're going to invest all this time and have this uphill battle to create, something that's so difficult to make? I mean, I definitely have activism in my background. My parents are both activists. They did have a stint as missionaries as well. So, I probably inherited a bit of idealistic, let's, try to change the world mentality. But I've done that with, okay, let's try to change the world with art. And for me, I know that art, isn't going to change the world in and of itself, but I think it plays a very important role in starting conversations so that people who consume art can have difficult conversations with their friends, with their family, or in the community at large. And collectively, we can solve some of those problems. So, yeah, I'm always drawn towards kind of taking some sort of social issue, whether it be my short film Samaritan, where I was tackling climate change, or in the case of Coyote, where I'm tackling human trafficking and the refugee crisis and immigration, taking some element like that, but making it palatable to an audience, because you do get a lot of social justice films out there that do nothing but really preach to the choir, because they're packaged as, maybe an indie drama that doesn't have, much commercial appeal. And I kind of see myself as right at the apex. I'm making gateway drugs for interesting conversations. You might walk into Coyote thinking, oh, I'm going to watch this fun sci-fi film. And you are, but you're going to walk away from that sci-fi film with, oh, well, wasn't expecting that to be in there. And that's interesting. So yeah, I really like to make films that stick with audiences long after they're done watching them, and hopefully things with enough layers and nuance that when they go back and they rewatch the work, they can continue to find more meaning from it.
Do you think that Hollywood, bigger movie companies tend to avoid that sort of, we don't want to upset people, we don't want to piss these people off, we don't, whereas I think in the indie film industry, you've got way more leeway, I suppose, because you haven't got a director being like, no, put more guns in, just put Tom Cruise in there, just put planes in that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas you're like, actually, I want to talk about police brutality, and I'm going to talk about it in a way where I'm not like, Biosphere's about police brutality. It's like, you're going to put it in there and, have scenes and etc. There's an actress we interviewed about a month ago who did a movie called My Baby Cries, which is about miscarriage. Mm-hmm. Whereas she was talking about how like the movies tend to be like, oh, someone's miscarried. Oh, 6 months later. Whereas this movie she's made is like miscarried, and then what happens after, how the parents do it, that sort of thing. So I think it's incredible that you have that platform to be like, we're going to talk about the LGBTQ community, and we're going to make a whole film based around it.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of the indie space, when no one's looking over your shoulder, yes, you can do anything that you want to do. And then it's up to the audience, how they respond to it and if it catches on. Obviously there's festival curators in the middle of that, and there's how many marketing dollars you have to put behind, a film that do affect ultimately its success. But sorry, it's my dog in the background. Home interviews. But yeah, I think I lost my thought in the middle of it, thanks to the dog. Did I answer your question fully?
I'm just trying to remember what I went off on a massive tangent, so I'm even trying to go back.
Indie films, how you can do whatever you want with indie films, and then
that Hollywood are too scared to kind of touch that topic because it's almost like they've got the big boys behind them, and it's they're like, well, I just want guns, Tom Cruise, planes, more guns. Mm-hmm.
It depends on kind of which faction of Hollywood. I think the thing that I've learned so much in my time in the industry is that there's the entire concept of like a us and them isn't really true.
Okay.
So Hollywood is made up of a lot of individuals, and I would say a lot of individuals do have that mentality where, it's all about making money, and we would do a test screening and we would take controversial things out of the film so our product will be more successful. But in that same mix is a lot of people who are also trying to make very interesting work, trying to make statements. Maybe they're not so concerned with dollars. And a lot of those films do get praised by Hollywood as well, as you see during award season time, even though some of those do kind of come from a more independent space rather than being greenlit by a studio. But there's certain studios that have come up that are really embracing creativity, like, A24, for example. I think at the last Oscars, A24 had the most nominations for any studio in the history of the Oscars. And wow. And I think that's a sign that shows you, if you give artists that confidence to make the work that they want to make, it's going to pay off in the long run, versus the news that's kind of top of my mind right now that was announced by Netflix yesterday, which was how they are pulling back all of their UK development for emerging talent and not greenlighting any new emerging talent coming out of the UK. because they want to focus on what the data is, showing them, which in their words they've said is we want to see more things like the best exotic marigold hotel and the King's Speech. So it really depends on who you talk to in Hollywood, what answer you're going to get. And there's people for all flavors. I wouldn't say good people and bad people. There's money people, there's creative people, there's creative people who care about money, there's money people who care about creative things. And then, of course, there's always going to be an element of, bottom feeders in any industry, but hopefully you can avoid those and those people don't get to the top.
Your film Samaritan won Best International Short as well for it's the climate change one, isn't it? And grand prize at the Weather Channel's Earth Film Challenge as well. So massive congratulations there. So that is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. But let's get into the nitty gritty of what we're really here for, shall we? Let's talk about Coyote. Quick rundown without obviously spoiling anything. What exactly is the movie all about?
Sure. So Coyote is a dystopian sci-fi film, and it's about how newly developed teleportation technology is affecting specifically the refugee crisis. But we take a look at how this new technology of people suddenly being able to teleport anywhere they want to in the world, how would that open up Pandora's box logistically? And kind of the main plot and the main characters in our piece are two queer refugees who are trying to escape genocide in their home country that is unfortunately trying to exterminate them. And in trying to escape, they trust the wrong back alley teleporter, are separated, and in the process are human trafficked. So then the film becomes about, will these characters reunite and will they overcome their struggles with their human traffickers?
Wow, it sounds amazing.
Yeah,
it really does.
And it looks amazing from what I've seen from the trailer. Like, if people listening to this haven't seen the trailer, pause this, go watch the trailer, and then come back, because it looks beautiful. It looks so good as well. But what made you decide now is the time to do a feature length? This is going to be my first feature length.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of false starts with features. As I mentioned earlier in the conversation, I wrote my first feature at 17 years old. I optioned my second feature script at 18 years old. So I kind of have always felt that I'm on the cusp of something happening. And, Hollywood loves development, right? It's all like, oh, let's sit in a room and let's talk about how we can change films into the best versions of what they can be. And I think there's definitely room for that, but I think there's probably too much development in the industry and that too much magic gets worked out of really brilliant concepts. I think there's too much filmmaking by committee, and when you have too many cooks in the kitchen, it makes everything taste more generic. I think maximum 3 people, 3 key creatives probably make the best art. It not necessarily has to be one, auteur director, but a core team of 3, I think, really gets you to good places. And so I pitched Samaritan around as a feature because after its success, it just kind of seemed logical to develop it into a feature. It was fortunate enough to get picked up by the Climate Story Lab, which was supported by BFI Network and Exposure Labs, and we were able to pitch the Samaritan feature to places like BBC and Channel 4, and we always came up to the same wall, which was, oh, well, you've never made a feature film before, so we're not going to greenlight your feature film. So they made me go, okay, well, if I need to have done something in order to do something, then I'm going to need to hustle and find a way to do this myself. So while Coyote sounds like this, massive film, and it, looks like this massive film, it was written with keeping constraints in mind, right? So it's not a lot of locations. It's not a lot of characters. It's high concept. There's strategic use of visual effects and key parts, but it's not like an opus of visual effects over an hour and a half. And in doing so, I was able to create a film that was at a low enough budget level that I could raise finance privately through individuals rather than having to go to a studio and say, oh, greenlight me, because even though you don't know if I can deliver a feature film. And in theory, it was, okay, well, now I can go into these pitch meetings and I can say, well, I have made a feature film. You know I can deliver. Here it is. But if I'm honest, I think they'll probably come up with a different excuse this time. So there's always a different hurdle around every corner.
You've only directed one.
Yeah, it's such a mental. Like, I don't understand if they love the short, they love Samaritan so much. What is the issue with you having? Yeah, I know you've done one now, but having yet to do another feature now, they're like, well, we need 5 now. We need 5 features, all done within a month.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, the way I see the main problem in the industry is this shift away towards emotion and towards data. So, I mean, it's been this very influential book that's affected every business, and that's the data-driven model. And what it says, if you want to be successful in business, you got to throw emotions and throw your heartstrings aside and just look at what works, through the data. And the way that has affected film is it's kind of worked a lot of the creativity out of a lot of the major studios. And that's why kind of the golden idol right now is what they call existing IP. And that is films that are based on something that already exists and already has an audience. So the studios want to tap into existing audiences, and they want to put all their ducks in a row, since they've kind of all sold to bigger companies and bigger conglomerates, that if they have a flop, they can say, well, look at what the data said. The data said this director had done this type of thing before, and that was a hit. And it was in this genre, which was a hit. And it was based on this book, which was a hit. And we got this screenwriter who won an Oscar. So you can't fire us because we followed the data and we made all the right decisions. So I think that's kind of the big thing, is people are too scared to go out on a limb and vouch for people. It does happen. People do vouch for people. There's beautiful people in the industry. And then, unfortunately, a lot of times when it does happen, it also does come from a place of nepotism a lot, because they, want to get somebody they know or somebody they're related to into, the industry as well, because everybody wants to be in film, especially if you lived in LA, you realize that, if you're in a Uber in LA and you say, oh, I'm a director, that Uber driver is going to pass you a screenplay.
Really?
Nobody's in LA to do anything other than film.
I'm taking that's happened. That's happened quite a few times, is it?
Yeah, one way or another. I mean, it can be a musician who wants to score your film, or an actor, or a screenwriter. Everybody moves to LA to think, that's where they need to be to make it. But there's so much competition out there that kind of the best thing you can do is actually move out of LA and build up a portfolio of work, and then return to LA with a portfolio of work, rather than going to LA when you're young and trying to kind of build up. I've lived in LA, I've lived in Denver, and I've lived here in London. And all of my periods out of LA were my most productive periods, where I was actually able to greenlight things, because I found access to a key, creative community that, wasn't behind closed doors.
So just going back to Coyote,
sure.
Where did the actual idea for it come from? Where did the story arc? Because obviously, like I said, you touched on the immigration side, there's the genocide of it, and the LGBTQ side as well. Like, what made you want to go, these are the topics I want to address in this movie?
So, I mean, obviously the first spark was, okay, what Pandora's box would teleportation open? That was the first note that I wrote down, okay, how would teleportation affect immigration? And that kind of sat in my brain for a while. And obviously immigration is a hot button item here in the UK and also in the US. And kind of one of the pivotal cultural moments was when, Donald Trump was being elected, and he was all talking about building the wall. Obviously, in my world, you can, teleport right over that wall very easily. But specifically, he said one of the most offensive things that, I think a president has probably ever said about refugees coming from the Mexican border was that Mexico isn't sending their best people, they're sending rapists. So he was vilifying these vulnerable refugees who were trying to cross the border for safety. And then I was juxtaposing that with this Jeffrey Epstein scandal and how Jeffrey Epstein was this, very powerful socialite who was rubbing elbows with politicians, Trump included. And he was discovered to be an actual human trafficker. So, for lack of a better term, an actual rapist. This guy was an actual rapist. So the fact that Trump would say, oh, this poor refugee is a rapist and not this person who he's, hanging out with socially and who knows what else, I thought was very, very offensive. And that's essentially where I got the villains for the piece. So, when you do watch it, this isn't too much of a spoiler, the human trafficking ring that they get involved with, the patrons of these girls who are being exploited are politicians, and specifically anti-immigration politicians, people who are vilifying them while at the same time getting their jollies from human trafficking. Not very nice people.
The guy gives me the creeps.
As it should. As it should. That is the right response to that.
Just every time I think about him, I remember something he said, and I'm like, oh, such a creepy guy.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you had the premiere for the film at the Phoenix Film Festival. How did that screening go? What sort of feedback did you get for the movie?
Yeah, it was great. So Phoenix was cool because they don't just screen your film once, they screen it 3 times over the course of a week and a half. So we had 3 screenings. So we were able to pick up momentum. And by the end of it, we sold out our final screening, which was fantastic. And I was able to get it in front of audiences and see that it was working. Our film does tackle a lot of very difficult subject matters that could lend itself to a lot of explicit scenes. But I definitely found it was a compliment that somebody said that my film made them uncomfortable to the point that they could tolerate. But they knew they were in safe hands, that I was never going to cross a line and, show something too over the top for exploitation, just to push a boundary. I always, I think if I was a writer, I might push a bit more boundaries when I don't have to have actors actually act out the scenes. So, there's a lot you can say with building that suspense and building that up to a point that's intolerable and then cutting before the moment where it crosses the line, which is what I do in this film quite a bit, is build that suspense around it. So to get the feedback that those techniques were actually working, especially since they're, classic techniques that, I learned from Hitchcock, who was, working in 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And you think that film might have really pushed the boundary far to where you couldn't get away with some of those old techniques anymore, that you would have to cross lines just in order to feel fresh. It felt great, because it's a real throwback to a lot of the films that I love to watch. So I've been, astounded that we've been selling out screenings, and astounded that we sold the film and we're getting a wide release in North America and Canada on digital, starting June 20th, which is just a couple days away. Here I'm 4 days out from seeing what the rest of the wider world thinks of it, other than just a festival audience.
You just segued beautifully into what I was going to ask you. Are you excited for that release on the 20th?
Yeah, excited, nervous. I mean, right now we've been able to pack theaters with festival audiences, which are very lovely and very friendly and very forgiving. Since I know, this is a film that you're probably going to love or hate because of, your own political leanings and things like that. I would imagine there might be a little bit of controversy around it. So I'm bracing for that a little bit. But I'm excited to let the pieces fall where they may. And at the end of the day, I'm proud to have made the statement that I made.
What do you hope people take away from this film? Well, once they've watched it, what sort of things are you wanting people to take away from it?
Well, as I mentioned before, I'm very interested in making gateway drugs and making films that kind of bridge the gaps in audiences. I don't really want to preach to a choir who already knows that refugee rights are something that's important. I really hope that this film does find its way to audiences who might be a little bit more on the fence about how they feel about refugees coming to their country, and maybe, because of their own economical situation, they kind of do feel that maybe refugees or immigrants are coming over the border to steal their jobs. And if they see that that's not the case, and they empathize with these characters, and they fall in love with these characters in the film, that then the next time they see a refugee in real life, they will think of that situation with more empathy and have more understanding for that situation. I'm very much against this us versus them mentality, and the mentality of divide and conquer. And I think if enough people realize that the people at the underprivileged side of society are kept busy fighting amongst each other so the ultra privileged can get away with crimes, that if we could unite, then we could focus on the people who are really causing the trickle down problems in society. And I guess I hope my film does its little part in that conversation. It's a big conversation, and my film can't do it alone, but hopefully it can do its little part.
I'm sure it'll instigate the conversations. That's why I'm looking forward to watching it now. I'm really excited for you as well, because obviously you put so much love and such passion, and you really care about the subjects that you're talking about. So like, even I'm here, I'm rooting for you, Dustin. I'm massively rooting for you. I want you to go up there and just take off, and you'll be in Hollywood within, 6 months or whatever, and genuinely being there as a director, not as the 18-year-old, holding us going, well, I hope I can make it in.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But with a Dustin Murphy, you mentioned Hitchcock, and you said that you took some styles from him. Like, how, if nobody was aware of yourself, say, and they put one of your films, how would they know it's a Dustin Murphy movie?
So, I mean, the thing that I commonly work with is performance-driven pieces. So it's quite a bit of dialogue, really strong performances by actors, and I oftentimes work in the blended genre space. So I kind of tend to think of myself as, what if Paul Thomas Anderson was making genre films? What if he made a sci-fi film? What if he made a horror film? Because he makes these really strong, dramatic performance pieces, but lift that element out of him, and then lift maybe genre out of somebody like Spielberg or James Cameron, and mash that together to get kind of this interesting fusion. I think that's what you would probably recognize in my work, and a heavy element of nostalgia as well. I mean, there's a lot of nostalgia filmmaking in my work. I'm definitely one to go back to proven techniques rather than to push the boundaries in something crazy you've never seen before, like Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm not like Daniels. I'm more like taking a step back than a step forward.
And everyone loves nostalgia. Yeah, no, it's great. Absolutely great.
It's great.
Absolutely.
So, obviously, we'll start bringing this to an end very soon, but I did want to, obviously, we're talking about Coyote there, but we do need to point out, as we've touched on a few times, you've had an incredible success with your short films, like picked up a ton of awards. I know it's like asking someone to pick a favourite child, but what's one or two of those shorts, you're extra proud of that you'd encourage people to go and check out? Because I know there's 9 of them, I believe. So I know it's going to be hard, but I want people out here to get more of a feel for what you do other than just Coyote.
Sure. Well, kind of top of the tier for me is Samaritan. That's definitely, one of my all-time favorites. That is available on the YouTube channel Omeletto, which is one of the largest channels for short films. So do check that out if you're, especially if you like Coyote as well, because it very much is in the same world. It's, a dystopian sci-fi blended genre piece that's very heavily character driven, and was definitely the predecessor to Coyote in its style, and used a lot of the same crew, the same DOP, the same composer. And then if I was to pick another one, I did a lot of comedy and kind of got burnt out from comedy. And then I did a switch to drama. And that first drama I did always holds a real special place for me. Even though it really wasn't any sort of a success. It was a personal success because I love the film, but from a festival standpoint, an award standpoint, only played 3 festivals. I got the opportunity to work with this wonderful older actor who actually helped train me when I was a kid doing theater. His name's Steve Gahagan, and he trained in the same method acting class as Marlon Brando. He was like a junior coming in when Brando was exiting the class. So they rubbed shoulders for, I think, about a year. And it's 9 minutes long, and it's pretty much just Steve's performance carrying the entire piece as he talks about this pivotal moment in his life, the character's life, that he regrets, and how he feels if he could trace everything back to that moment, his life would somehow be better for it. And that film's called Without Regret. And yeah, I think that one really started to push me on a course towards where I am now. So that one holds a very special place for me.
To be fair, it sounds amazing. I was just watching you then. I was like, keep talking. It sounds amazing. I want to watch this. Keep talking. Phenomenal. As we start wrapping up here, what else are you working on at the moment? Anything else coming out, or are you solely focusing on Coyote at the moment?
So, I mean, Coyote takes a ton of my time. I mean, as an indie filmmaker, the job really is never done. And I really am discovering that. I mean, things like, PR and marketing and a whole bunch of stuff continues to go. But I always have these projects in my back pocket. So I'm ready to actively start conversations about my slate of features that I have in development. There is the script for Samaritan, the feature version of that is ready to go if we find the right financing partner. And also in the pipeline, I'm working on an ensemble horror film that is kind of like one of those films where you have a lot of characters who don't seem to be connected, and as the story comes together, all of their paths cross, and then you see how they're all related. Something like Magnolia or Crash. It's that, but in the genre space. So it's that as a horror film, which I've never seen before. I've never seen it as a horror film. Because I love a good horror, but my biggest criticism of the genre is that so often they go to the same storylines over and over again, and the same formulas to get their scares. And, it's the creepy house, the creepy basement. A lot of times it's characters doing what you wouldn't do, right? It's the dumbest character doing the dumbest thing,
running up the stairs.
and to me, that's not scary. So I want to make my film where you as an audience go, okay, the scary thing's over there, and the character runs the opposite direction, but then things still go wrong. That's more terrifying, when the character is making all of the right decisions and things still go wrong. And that's what this film will be.
So your characters aren't running up the stairs when the killer is downstairs. No. That always makes me laugh.
Yeah, they're not gonna go take a shower in a haunted house.
Oh, there's a weird noise downstairs in the basement with no windows. I better go and check it out all by myself and not tell anyone I've gone down there. You're also teaching as well. You've got some, I noticed you had some filmmaking classes on your website. Yep. What made you want to pass on the knowledge to other people as well to help them get off the ground?
So when I first moved over to the UK, I became involved with a group in London called Kino Short Film. And Kino Short Film is just this great collective community of indie filmmakers. It started in 2009, and it was known as kind of a short film open mic night where people could screen anything that they wanted to screen for free in front of a live audience of maybe 60, 70, 80 people. And at the time, I had come from the festival circuit, which is the system of, okay, I've made a film, I'm going to submit it to a bunch of festivals, I'm going to pay them, they're going to mostly reject me, and then I'll eventually get into a couple of festivals, and then I'll attend. And a lot of times there's tons of festivals out there that can't even draw an audience other than the filmmakers who are screening. So you think maybe you're going to go to this great festival screening, and you end up, just sitting in an empty cinema with maybe 5 other filmmakers. Kino is like the antithesis of that. So when I found this community, when I moved over here, that was doing these short film open mic nights, and I had this genuine vibe about it. They were doing meetups, so you could get together and make films, and they were doing classes. So it was just kind of a logical thing for me to start getting involved with. And the previous person who was running it moved to Buenos Aires and stepped down, and I loved it so much. I was like, oh, I don't want to see this go away. So I stepped up to start running Kino Short Film, and that's when I did the classes at that time. And then I'm still, kind of passionate about breaking down as many barriers as I can for filmmakers so they can, actualize their dreams and show off their talents. And that's why we started our BIFA qualifying Kino London Short Film Festival. That's why we also started distributing short films online. And we started a film fund so filmmakers can have access to funds to greenlight their next short film with us. So I'm always passionate about doing everything I can in space to, make the industry the place we all want it to be.
Absolute hero, Dustin. Yeah. An inspiration and a hero. And again, like I said, Wayne's World, not worthy.
and that right there is why I love talking to indie filmmakers, because it is about the love of film. Money, it's great. But let's get those stories out there, let's help people get their stories out there. And it's amazing to see that, you're willing to help other people achieve what you've achieved so far. And it is absolutely phenomenal. If I was wearing a hat, I would tip it. So it's absolutely, absolutely beautiful. I see my co-host helps me out with that one. Absolutely amazing. Last thing from me, because I realized I didn't ask earlier, you mentioned when it comes out in North America. When's it coming out in the UK?
So we're still doing the festival circuit in the UK. So the next time you can watch it is the Kingston International Film Festival, which is June 25th. And if you follow us at our website, which is teleportyourself.com, as soon as we have a wide release date for the UK, we'll be announcing it there. We do expect it to be within the next couple of months, but nothing is solidified yet.
Wonderful. I will keep my eyes peeled, so I really want to watch this film. It sounds amazing. Mr. Stevens, any final questions for our wonderful guest?
I do. I have one more. Did you ever think when you wanted to be an archaeologist as a 6-year-old and revive the dinosaurs, and then obviously going to school, not going to college, that sort of, did you ever think this is where you'd be today, having 9 short films and now a feature length and a comedy short series and that sort of? Did you ever think this is where you'd be now, spreading the love of Coyote?
At 7, did I think?
No, I mean, it's like, obviously from when you started, when you were a child, when you first found your love of film, did you ever think that this is where you would be right now today, having your first full feature length coming out?
Well, as I would say no, but in typical American sense, because I probably thought I would have been here sooner. And I don't mean that to sound arrogant or egotistical, but that was the confidence that I had from a very early age. And I always had that fantasy in my head of I'm like, oh, I'm going to be the youngest person to ever win an Oscar and blah, blah, blah. And then, here comes Damien Chazelle with La La Land to blow that out of the water. I'm never getting that back.
Bastard.
It is what it is. I love the journey that I've been on. And to be honest with you, I learned so much in making my sketches and making my shorts that my debut feature film is better for it. If I made my debut feature film at 18, it, would have a million more mistakes in it than Coyote has. So it's interesting. The industry does like to hold up these overnight successes, but as soon as you peel back those layers, you realize there really is nothing of the sort. All of these people who suddenly are propelled to the front of culture, if you dig deep enough, they've been working on it a long time, and they've been practicing a long time. So that's why I say to every short filmmaker out there and any aspiring actor out there, just keep working, just keep trying, keep showing your work, even if it's not perfect, get feedback for it and grow. And eventually you'll get to where you want to go if you're determined enough.
Beautiful. Absolutely amazing. Dustin, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for sitting down and talking to us. It means the absolute world.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Before we let you go, though, any plugs, social medias, websites, anything you want people to go and check out right now?
Sure. I mean, obviously the biggest thing is Coyote. So I already mentioned teleportyourself.com. On socials, it's the same, @teleportyourself. If you're interested in the work that I do with short filmmaking, check out Kino Short Film, kinoshortfilm.com, and @KinoShortFilm on all the socials. And if you want to follow me personally, it's DCM Filmmaker on all the socials.
Incredible. And I would tell everyone to go and check out your personal website as well, because there's a ton of your older stuff on there to go watch. It's absolutely, there's so much stuff on there to watch. It's absolutely amazing.
True. I'm not somebody who wants to hide my history. So if you dig back to the deep recesses of my website, way below, scroll down below my current portfolio, you can find some of the films that I made when I was 13, 14, 15 or so, if you're so inclined.
Dustin, this has been absolutely incredible. But seriously, Dustin, I wish you every success with Coyote. I hope it just goes to the fucking moon when it's released next week in the States. And I look forward to it coming out over here. And yeah, just wish you all the best of the future, my friend, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Cheers. Thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Dustin. Take care of yourself, my friend. See you later, buddy. Bye-bye.
What a great conversation. Just so inspirational. I love it. This is what I want to do in my life, and I'm not giving up until I achieve it. Love those stories.
It's absolutely incredible. Dustin, again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Tom, thank you so much for setting it up. It's graciously appreciated. We look forward to working with you again in the future. And we really hope that you guys enjoyed listening to it as much as we did recording it.
It's about getting into schools and talking to young people because, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back from violence and prejudice and whatever. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there.
Absolutely. Hey there, guys. We are ecstatically happy to announce that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
The times are changing, and with the unfortunate death of Sophie, those changes have made a massive impact for the future. If Sophie was with us still today, I can guarantee what you are doing will still be reaching so many lives of young teenagers, young adults, and those who wish to be as different as possible. So thank you very much.
To find out more about this incredible foundation and all the work they do, and more importantly, how you can help, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com. Mr. Stevens.
Oh, I like how you went with this one. I shall retort. Me. Ja.
It's audience participation time.
Well, let's participate, bitch!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to participate in Jamie's Participation Challenge. This week, we said you can't beat a classic internet meme that's been doing the rounds for years. So this week, we refer to one of those and ask a very simple question. Take a movie quote and simply add You piece of shit, to the end. What say you, Mr. Stevens?
It's not a tumor, you piece of shit. Get to the chopper, you piece of shit.
It's just every Arnie quote ever.
Hasta la vista, baby. No, so what is it? That one doesn't work. That one doesn't work. Damn it. You could have hasta la vista, you piece of shit. Who throws a shoe, you piece of shit?
Nothing's topping that.
Mole. Mole. Are you quite done, you piece of shit?
It improves everything.
Sorry. So, what about you?
Yeah, to be honest, the main ones I came up with, two I thought of are in this, but one that did make me laugh is "Party on, Wayne, party on, Garth, you piece of shit." Oh,
smoking, you piece of shit.
Somebody stop me, you piece of shit.
It's a Tommy gun, you piece of shit. Sorry. We can go on for ages of this.
We really could. Oh, right, let's get some audience answers. First off, former guest Christian James says, "You're a wizard, Harry, you piece of shit." Oh, Jerry Keane from Shawshank Redemption, "Get busy living or get busy dying, you piece of shit." The wife, Rebecca Westwood, she joins in with, "You know you want to kiss the girl, you piece of shit." Brought in a musical element. I like it. Mally Malpass has given so many answers, I'm just going to spread them through. There's that many. I swear, every time he sees a post, he just has to get involved. It's great. So, Mally Malpass, "The force is strong in my family. My father has it. I have it. My sister has it. You piece of shit." Great. Star Wars. Just drop it in there. It's great. Ruby Goodwin comes in with two. One from Jaws. "We're going to need a bigger boat, you piece of shit." Really made me laugh. Just one of the ones I thought of as well. "Welcome to Jurassic Park, you piece of shit." Oh, very much on the lines of what you did earlier. Phil Close, "I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle, you piece of shit."
What a film.
It really works in Arnie voice for some reason.
Yeah.
Alex Graham from Jerry Maguire, "You had me at hello, you piece of shit."
I just thought of another one.
Go on.
"The truth? You can't handle the truth, you piece of shit." Sorry, guys.
Former guest PR Brown quoted one of my favourite movies of all time. This really made me chuckle. "There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home, you piece of shit." Dina Payne from our friends at the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, "E.T. phone home, you piece of shit." John Johnstone, "Go ahead, make my day, you piece of shit."
This is the best special you've ever done.
Danny Minute, "Run, Forrest, run, you piece of shit." Oh, fucking hell. Wes Pike, "Johnny Five is alive, you piece of shit."
Water sucks. It really, really sucks. You piece of shit. Piece of shit.
Oh, Ian Shaw quoting one of a geek's heartfelt emotional moments in movie ever from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. "I have been and always shall be your friend, you piece of shit." Oh, Mally Malpass, two more. "No, I am your father, you piece of shit." What's this improve? Every line ever. And Manny Malpass again. I am Groot. You know what he's saying. Martin Camp. I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark, you piece of shit. Oh, fuck. I really should pause to an end soon, but I'm really enjoying it. Dean Salmon. We got another one. Come with me if you want to live. Piece of shit. Jason Gullick. Roads. Where we're going, you don't need roads. Piece of shit. Last but not least, the man with 13 answers. It's Ryan Williams. I got so excited when I saw his name pop up because you're getting some good shit. Why so serious, you piece of shit? Do or do not. There is no try, you piece of shit. You shit a piece or something like that, Yoda. Oh shit, I can't remember what film this is from, but I'll have what she's having, you piece of shit.
When Harry Met Sally.
That's it. Okay, this I want to see. From Rocky. Yo, Adrian, you piece of shit.
There's a guy at work called Adrian, and we keep every time his name pops up on our thing, we go, Adrian.
Number 5. Autobots, roll out, you pieces of shit. Best. Number 6, I can't remember what film this is. I know it's a Will Ferrell film. Gators bitches better be wearing jimmies, you piece of shit. Oh, other guys. I remember that. Number 7. Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings, you piece of shit. Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And next time, don't call me Shirley, you piece of shit.
Right, that's excellent, that one.
To infinity and beyond, you piece of shit. I don't know why kids' films want to make me laugh more. Oh, number 10, I'll be back. We've had that one. Number 11, great Scott, Marty, you piece of shit. TTFN, ta-ta for now, you piece of shit. I think that's Tigger. And last one, because it's just a wonderful, wholesome movie, which can only be improved by adding this line. My mama always said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, you piece of shit.
You thoroughly enjoyed that, didn't you?
I really did. My head really hurts now from laughing. Ow.
We appreciate everybody that gets involved in Jamie's participation challenge. So thank you to absolutely everyone that answered. It was an excellent. When I saw it come up this week, I was like, oh, this is going to be excellent. This is going to be so good. And you all delivered, and you all did not let us down. So it was graciously appreciated. But if you enjoy Jamie's participation challenge, Tom's journal, Callum's Treachings, the interview, and all the absolute god fucking dog shit we talk at the beginning, then you'll enjoy the other 92 editions of the Chronicles of Podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, whether that be Spotify, Google, Apple, Good Pods, any of them, really. Anywhere you get them, you'll get them there. All right. So search the Chronicles of Podcast and you will soon to find us. Don't you worry about that. You can also come and find us on YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to get notified when new videos are released, and comment to fucking livery. It'd be absolutely wonderful. Make sure you get them comments in. You will find on there, and I quote, our episodes are on there in full. Our interviews are on there in full. Our hashtag WBW Wayback Wednesdays are in there in full. Our Bloodstock live interviews are on there. Our Bloodstock vlog is on there, and our Dublin Crust vlog is on there. And of course, coming up, we'll have all of the 2000 Trees bits and pieces for you as well, which is very, very exciting. You can also find us on Facebook at the Chronicles of Podcast. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit share. Tell your mates about it. Put some gifs and memes, whatever you want in there. Be absolutely massively appreciated. Hang on a second. Jamie, thinking about it. Where else could you find us?
You can find us checking out all of Dustin's socials to find out where we can watch Coyote, because it's coming very soon and it looks very damn good.
or on the Twitter at TCO Pod, even though that's now fallen to shit. But whilst you're also looking for all of Dustin's movies and his shorts and all that stuff, getting ready for Coyote's release in the UK and on our Twitter, where else could you find us?
You can find us listening to this radio station, waiting for this song by Harry Styles between 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. Give us a call, you pieces of shit.
There, or on the Instagram at TCO Pod. We're on LinkedIn at the Chronicles of Podcast. Make sure you come and connect with us on there. Come and give us some love. Or on TikTok at the Chronicles of Podcast at TCO Pod. Jamie posts a video on the daily, and they've been absolutely well received and are funny as fuck. So if I'm quite honest, we are hilarious. All right. So find those and go and find Jamie's Chesney Hawks video while you're at it. And you could also come on down to our beautifully brand spanking sexy and wonderful little website. It's not really new anymore. It's been around for a while now, but it's still sexy. It's still gorgeous, still delicious, still incredible. So you want to get your eyes on that. You can find out all about us are on there. All of our shows and episodes are on there. Our affiliations and sponsors, and of course, our own shop is on there as well. So you could buy yourself a TCO Pod t-shirt, there's hoodies, there's a journal. So get involved, come and get all of the goodies you want. You know you do, you dead little minxes. So follow us on all the social medias at TCO Pod. Subscribe to us on YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast. It would be graciously appreciated, loves.
Very muchly so would.
And now, excuse me, a word from our Jamie.
I know you're going to say it. It still makes me laugh. Before we get out of here, let's say thank you to a few of our friends. First, every single piece of music you hear on this show is brought to you by one man. You like our theme song? You head on over to Spotify and search Once in a Lifetime by Matt Roberts. You're going to enjoy it. That's right. Mr. Singer-songwriter himself, Matt Roberts. Go check him out on all the social medias at Matt Roberts Music. Give him a follow. Tell him we sent you. I think he'll appreciate that. But go to Spotify, wherever you get your music from. Go listen to all of his music. His most recent album, Light of Day, is there. It is fantastic. We know that Matt's working on some new material, and we cannot wait to hear it. A massive thank you to Matt for everything he does for us. We love those music bits, my friend. We love them very much so indeed. And of course, we have to say massive thank you to Mr. Braden Barry and his Stay Cozy Clothing. Head on over to www.staycozyclothing.com or download the smartphone app. See what you like the look of on there. There's new t-shirts. There's new hoodies. There's one that with ramen, and it looks fucking awesome. It's a brilliant design. Go check that out. And of course, those delicious mugs. They are beautiful. Add whatever you like the look of to your basket, and then put in that discount code, The Chronicles, and get yourself 10% off your order. And of course, you don't need to only support Braden with his Stay Cozy Clothing. Go check out all his music as well. Say We Can Fly on all of the socials and Spotify, wherever you get your music from. Go check out his most recent album, Beneath the Roses. It is a work of art, I tell thee. So go check out Mr. Braden Barry now. And last but not least, it's our friends here at the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. They are stamping out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. We will fly that flag for Sophie's message every single week because it means the absolute world to us. I don't think we can state it enough how much this charity means to us because it affects the community that we are a part of. And let's be honest, community means everything to us at the end of the day. If you've watched our Bloodstock vlog, you will see that the alternative community is a family. It's quite frankly, it is a family. We're all there for each other. As you are watching or listening to this, Mr. Stevens and myself, we are in a field in Cheltenham, being with our family in the alternative community. We'll be hanging out with the guys from the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. If you are there, please come say hello to us. Please come say hello to the guys. Get all the merchandise you can. There's exclusive 2000 Trees wristbands. You need them for your collection. You do. I'm telling you now, you do. But no, if you're not there, but you want to support, head on over to sophielancasterfoundation.com. Familiarise yourself with Sophie's story. Share that out so people who aren't familiar with Sophie's story become aware. Go onto their shop. Every bit of merchandise you buy, all that money goes straight back into charities to help deliver that message, deliver those school workshops, and to help get that message out there and achieve Sylvia's goal of making the alternative subculture a strand of hate crime. We can't thank you guys enough for all the support you've given them so far, but let's keep it coming, baby. And last but not least, a massive thank you to my wonderful co-host there.
Oh, yeah. A massive thank you to you too, Jamie, as always. Ditto, as they say. Ditto. Another absolutely glorious addition to the Chronicles, my friend.
Oh, yes, I very much enjoyed it.
We love it. We hope that you're all currently enjoying 2000 Trees. If you're there, come and say hello. The Sophie Lancaster Foundation have announced that they are there as well. So make sure you go and give them all the love and support whilst you are there at the same time. And as for this week, we'll see you all next week for the Chronicles of the Deprivation Festival.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.